Brain fog or foggy thinking is a common complaint and symptom of adrenal fatigue. This is Dr. Lam, founder of drlam.com. In this video, we're going to go through why and what the mechanisms are of this very, very common complaint. And it's important to know because memory, cognitive functions are such a critical part of our daily life. Those of us who work in professions that requires mental acuity, and nowadays it basically involves almost every profession because of the prevalence of computer work that's required, means that having a cognitive function that is in the tip-top condition is required for normal daily living. Brain fog is a situation where the memory long-term is not impaired. However, there's a sense that there's lack of mental clarity in looking at things, in recalling things. Memories, in the short term, you can put your keys down and unable to recall it within minutes. Telephone number recall may be difficult to be sustained. You could be doing multiple tasks and forget that one of them is necessary. Or if you are in a very detailed work on the spreadsheet, that somehow the numbers don't make sense and the formulas doesn't really work. And this can be a very frustrating situation. It can come and go. There's no rhymes or reasons, and sometimes it's related to certain food, especially when you eat fried food or food high in trans fat. But oftentimes it just come and go, and when it comes, it can be very devastating. You can be in the middle of a presentation and then suddenly lost your train of thought. This is very different from dementia or Alzheimer type symptoms where the body and the brain in particular is going through some organic changes. If you look at the microscope or look at the brain, it is functioning normally. Structurally, there's no problem. There's no plaque buildup that can be grossly detectable. The brain is essentially normal, but the brain fog exists. Now, there is no scientific explanation of this moment for this brain fog, but we do find a strong association of people with brain fog with adrenal fatigue and as well as liver congestion. What happens, as we know clinically, is that when adrenal fatigue is well in place, not only does the body is in a state of low energy, it tries to conserve energy as a compensatory mechanism. So the body, in its infinite wisdom, try to slow down. It slows down the gut, and then you can have irritable bowel. It slows down the other functions, especially in the liver, and you can have metabolic buildup. But the liver is a very critical organ because it is responsible to clear the unwanted metabolites after food, after drugs, after medications, and after supplements have gone through. It's like a giant garbage disposal that basically breaks down big products into small byproducts for it to be excreted in the kidneys and our bowels. When the liver function slows, as in the case of adrenal fatigue, the microscopic cellular structure is still normal. The laboratory tests are still normal, but the congestion can build up. It's like a highway with cars that used to be going fast, now slowing down, and there's going to be congestion. When that happens, the body is not going to be able to process the metabolites and it builds up. A lot of these products or metabolic byproducts are fat soluble. They are what we call lipophilic. They like fat. So when they eventually find their way into the bloodstream and the blood carries it to the brain, it will basically stay in the brain because the brain is a lot of fat. So when this happens, the fat in the brain attracts the metabolites, and the metabolite stays in the brain for a longer period of time than it normally should. The end result is a set of inflammation response because the brain doesn't like to have these stay there for a long time. And this inflammation causes a reduction in signaling, leading to what we call brain fog. I hope you understand this chain of events that goes on because it is this sequence of how the body reacts and how metabolites are built up that causes this situation to be sometimes quite unbearable. Recognizing that brain fog is not a terminal disease, but it is something that is a nuisance and it is related to adrenal fatigue is critically important, because as your adrenal gets better, the brain fog actually goes down. If you try to get rid of the brain fog too aggressively with cleanses and detox and things like this, for example, you can actually make the body worse, because the body can go into a separate set of detoxification type reaction, which we will not go into here, but it will be found at my website if you have more interest in studying this topic. Suffice to say at this point that brain fog or foggy thinking is very common, and be on the alert to understand that this has association with adrenal fatigue. I hope you've enjoyed this video. For more information on this topic, head over to drlam.com, where I have written over 1,000 articles to help educate people. You can also call me at 626-571-1234 for more information on adrenal fatigue and how to navigate it. Finally, if you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thanks for watching.